Hey everybody, it's Cardfighter Hunter here, and today I am doing another deck profile. I actually just finished doing my Nova Grappler Stride deck profile. So this is my second deck profile of the day. The Nova Grappler one is actually uploading as I'm filming this video. I don't know if I'm going to upload this deck profile today or some other day, just to try to space out the releases, because I do have 4 deck profiles, including the one I'm uploading right now. So this Rolls and Kagurone edition of the Nova Grapplers, as well as 3 more box openings that I haven't uploaded yet, because I did open 5 boxes of GBT01. This is not a Stride deck. Basically, you can just use your imagination. I don't have a G deck just for this deck specifically, but if I were going to play it, it would be like 4 Atmos, 4 Neon Messiah, or something like, or Harmonix Messiah. Neon Messiah is the movie. Anyway. So that is what's going on right now, and those are the videos I'm uploading soon. But you know, obviously, episode 9 of Vanguard Abridged is still coming. But you know, that was a joke, by the way, April Fool's joke. If you thought the Vanguard G Abridged thing was real, a lot of people did for some reason. Even I don't know, just look at the date. Anyway. So that is still coming. I'm waiting on some voice actors to send in their lines, but it's not a huge rush because I already have to, you know, edit my lines and other people's lines that I already got in. So I'm not in a huge rush. I will need them relatively soon, as I am trying to get the episode out by the end of the month. But, you know, whatever. Anyway, so let's get started with the deck profile. Starting Vanguard, acquire Deletor Igor. I'm only running 1. I've seen a lot of people run 2 to 4, which I wouldn't run 4. That makes the deck too inconsistent. I might consider bumping it up to 2, but I feel like 1 is good for me right now because I can just Legion it back into the deck, and then I do end up seeing it a lot, even with 1 copy. I just Legion it back in, and it's easy. I mean, yeah, most of the time I'd rather do triggers, but this can be very helpful. And besides, I don't like seeing it late game because most of the time my Vanguard's, my opponent's Vanguard is going to be deleted, I don't know, early to mid game, and I wouldn't normally do it early, but I'll get to that in a second. So I'm only running 1 for now. What I was talking about early game, I was talking about 4 Oakses. The only reason I would delete early game is that if my opponent is at grade 2, if I go first and my opponent is at grade 2, I can actually delete their Vanguard when they're grade 2, and then they would have to discard to ride a grade 3. I also like doing that because if you, if you delete their Vanguard when they're at grade 2 before they get their twin drive, you're going to drop their whole hand easy, or they're going to take a lot of damage really early on. So deleting when they're at grade 2 is really, really good. I'm surprised how well it can just screw them over for the rest of the game. It can, you know, send them to 3 or 4 damage before they even hit grade 3, if I can pull it off. That's sort of dependent on them getting a crit, though. I mean, sometimes you just won't have 3 damage when you ride to grade 3. Or sometimes they'll crit you or bring out a rear guard or something, and then you just intentionally don't guard it so you can delete their Vanguard and drain their hand before they hit grade 3. So, also, I'm running 4 Zale. The thing, I don't like this as much as Oaks for the reason I mentioned before, that this can delete your opponent at grade 2. Obviously, Zale can't, because in order to Legion, both players have to be at grade 3. But also because this fuels the soul, and I run 3 of the Soul Blast 2 draw card, so that helps a lot. So when I ride Oakses, I will have 2 soul exactly. I can Soul Blast 2 to draw a card with that card, and then I will use his effect, put the 5k that I just used as a vanilla now into the soul, and then put Iger into the soul, and then I'll have another 2 soul, and then if I have another Soul Blast 2 draw card, I can play it and Soul Blast 2 draw a card again. This deck actually gets a ridiculous amount of pluses sometimes, just because your opponent is going to have their Vanguard deleted, which can, if they don't do anything about it, it can mean that I don't have to guard much, and I can lock their front row rear guards, which hurts them a lot and saves me hand. I played it a couple days ago, And I actually got up to literally 12 to 15 cards. I didn't count it, but it was over a dozen at least. I got that many cards in my hand against OTT of all things, and it just really hurt them. So that's why I prefer Oxus. But Zale is a better, I think, finisher, just because it keeps the Legion power. Like, this only keeps the 10k for a turn, but this is Legion. It's going to be 22 whenever it attacks a Vanguard, as long as it's in Legion. So this is better late game, and also because you're probably only going to have the counterblast to do it delete 2 times. If you're lucky, maybe 3. If your opponent lets through the damage on flipper on hit guy. So that's the grade 2s, or grade 3s. To grade 2s, I'm running 4 of the 12k attacker. Pretty self-explanatory. If you have a Deletor Vanguard, it's a 12k attacker. We don't have a lot of good choices for Deletors, grade 2s right now. And I think there's only like 4 grade 2s for Deletors and 3 grade 3s for Deletors. And, like, one of them is a common, and one of each grade is a common, I think. Anyway, for juxtaposed Deletor Gale, or Gale, however you want to pronounce it, this is probably the best grade 2 in the deck. When your opponent's Vanguard is deleted and you call this, lock a front row rearguard for free. It's really good, and it helps a lot. That's how you keep your hand up. This is the Legion mate to Zale, by the way, obviously. So you pretty much have to run 4. I would run 4 anyway, just because it's the best grade 2 in the deck, I think. It just does so much work. It makes it so you don't have to guard an extra column whenever you delete a Vanguard. And you can also, if you have 2 in hand and you want to be a troll, you just delete and then go lock. If you play 2, so it's a really good card. And there are also other ways of doing that, even if you only have 1, which I'll get to later. And lastly, 3, I don't even know what his name is. Oh, Greedy Deletor Jail. It's the damage on flipper on hit for Deletors, so very good. Just unflips damage, that's it. It keeps a lot of the pressure up, because you can put this. I actually did this the other day. If your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, and you do something like this, and you lock something with your Vanguard, and you have 2 of these both lock on hit because of the booster. So you would guard this, and it would be a stupid amount, and they would guard it. You put all the triggers on this, and they would guard it. And then they would take this, and it would still end up locking their whole front row anyway. So it's a really good control deck, actually. Even with the fact that Stride kind of screws over the deck after your turn. It's basically, deleting at this point is basically just to be really aggro. Because they're almost always going to find a way around it when it comes to their turn. I've only had like 1 or 2 turns out of many games I've played where the opponent would actually keep their deleted Vanguard because they wouldn't be able to do anything with it. They couldn't stride or they couldn't ride. So, very good. Anyway, grade 1s, 4 perfect guards. Pretty self-explanatory. They're all Deletor because Oxus is a special counterblast. 3 of this guy. This is what I was talking about before. It is, what's his name? Gwym? Idolizing Deletor Gwym. So, when it boosts an attack that hits your opponent's Vanguard, if your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, lock a front row for free. So this can delete and lock front row. Basically, a couple games I had it where my opponent's entire front row was face down because I had their entire front row deleted and their Vanguard deleted and their front row rear guards locked. So it can be very good control deck. As I talked about, I'm running 3 of the Soul Blast 2 draw card. It's very good in this deck because after you use it, you can put it in your soul with Oxus and fuel more soul for another copy later on. 2 10k beaters, I only run 2. I don't find they're too relevant in this deck because you will almost always have grade 2s in your front row. 2 AK vanillas. The reason I run this is only because it makes a 20k column with the 12k attacker, and so 20k against 0 is a 25k block. Against anything else, this would be pretty much irrelevant, but because your opponent's Vanguard is always going to be 0 when they're deleted, you know, it's going to be it forces out a lot of guard. But I only run 2 because any more would make the deck kind of, it would make the grade 1s the grade 1 lineup not optimal for what I want. And then I'm also running rainbow triggers for this, so 4 crit, 4 draw, 4 stand. I think stands are really good in this deck because when you delete your opponent's Vanguard, say you have a 12k attacker and then you get a stand trigger, you stand it, it's 17k. That's a 20k block on their deleted Vanguard. So stand triggers in this deck, I don't normally like stand triggers at all, but these are very, very good in this deck specifically. The only other deck I really would consider running stands in would be Nova Grapplers or something like that, or something that stands a lot. Maybe, yeah. And then 4 heals, of course. 4 heals is standard. And I like trolling opponents because I always get my heals early, and then I legion them back in. Like, I will put 4 heals back in my deck, and I dropped 1, but I'll get it later, because that is the end of the deck profile. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. I think my next deck profile is going to be Kagero, the Cross. So look forward for that very, very soon. All I'm missing from that deck is 1 Root Flare, so as soon as I get that, I will be doing the deck profile. So, thanks for watching, and talk to you guys later. Bye.